Reproductive phase of life in humans. In man, reproductive phase begins at the age of 14 to 15 years and it lasts as long as he is healthy throughout the life. And in woman, reproductive phase begins at the age of 10 to 12 years, comparatively earlier from males, okay, and it lasts till the age of 45 to 50 years. Menstruation cycle. Now students, let us understand this menstruation cycle. So it consists of 4 phases, that is menstrual phase, follicular phase, ovulation phase and luteal phase. Now let us understand this one by one. So first is menstrual phase. So this phase starts when egg from the previous cycle isn't fertilized by the sperm. So in this phase, the thick and soft inner lining of uterus along with the blood and dead ovum, means egg, comes out of the vagina in the form of bleeding is called menstruation, and this phase we are saying menstrual phase. Okay, so during this phase blood and dead ovums comes out from the vagina in the form of bleeding, we are saying menstruation, and this phase we are saying menstrual phase. Now next is follicular phase. Now in this phase starts on the first day of your period and it ends when you ovulate. Ovulate means when ovaries release the mature egg. Okay. During this phase, the follicle stimulating hormone, that is FSH, from the pituitary gland stimulate the ovaries to produce around 5 to 20 small sacs. And these small sacs we are saying follicles. Now each follicles contain an immature egg. Only the healthiest egg will eventually get mature by the estrogen, that is female sex hormone. Okay, only one of the healthiest egg will be matured by estrogen and the rest of the follicles, rest of the eggs will be reabsorbed into your body. Okay, now next is, so this phase we are saying follicular phase. Now third phase is ovulation phase. So in this phase, the rising of estrogen level during the follicular phase triggers your pituitary gland. Okay, in this phase the estrogen level will be high and it triggers your pituitary gland to release the luteinizing hormone. So luteinizing hormone will instruct these ovaries to release the mature egg. So as soon as ovaries will get instruction and information from luteinizing hormone, so it starts releasing the mature egg. So ovulation is when your ovaries release the mature egg. So this phase we are saying ovulation phase. Okay. So the mature egg travels down the fallopian tube towards the uterus to be fertilized by the sperm. So this phase we are saying ovulation phase. Now our fourth phase is luteal phase. Now in luteal phase, once ovulation occurs, the follicles that contains the egg, means the remaining egg, transform into something called corpus luteum, and this begin to produce progesterone as well as estrogen, that is female sex hormone. Okay, so if egg is fertilized, the progesterone from the corpus luteum supports this early pregnancy, and if no fertilization occurs, then corpus luteum will start to break down. So this results in a drop in estrogen and progesterone level, which causes menstruation, and again this cycle is getting repeated. So this sexual cycle in female is called menstruation cycle. So students, in first phase, that is menstrual phase, the dead ovum and blood comes out from the vagina in the form of bleeding is called menstrual phase, or we can say menstruation. And second, follicular phase. In this, ovaries produce 5 to 20 small sacs called follicles, and each follicle contains a mature egg, and one of the healthiest egg will get mature by estrogen, that is female sex hormone. And in third phase, that is ovulation phase, the ovaries start releasing mature egg. So this phase we are saying ovulation phase. Fourth, in luteal phase, the follicle that contains the egg transforms into something called corpus luteum, and it begins to produce progesterone as well as estrogen. Okay, so if egg is fertilized, so progesterone will support in early pregnancy, and if it is not fertilized, then corpus luteum means the egg which is not fertilized will start to break down, and this results into drop of estrogen and progesterone level, which causes menstruation. So this whole cycle we are saying menstruation cycle. Now students, let us discuss this menstruation cycle again with the help of this flow chart. So during puberty already we have discussed the age at which sex gamete and sex hormone begins to produce in the body. So in girls, sex hormone called estrogen is released in the blood, and it causes ova. Ova means egg to mature. This mature egg is released by the ovaries in about 28 to 30 days in a fallopian tube, and this is called ovulation. So during this period, wall of uterus is becoming thick and spongy, and it is getting filled with tiny blood vessels, and it is preparing itself to receive this mature egg. So if egg is fertilized by the sperm, menstruation stops, fertilized egg develops into embryo and then to fetus and then into a baby, and mother will give birth to the baby. And if egg is not fertilized by the sperm, so wall of uterus break and blood and dead ovum, that is dead egg, comes out of the vagina in the form of bleeding. So this is called menstruation. So menstruation usually occurs 14 days after ovulation, and it lasts for about 3 to 5 days. So after menstruation is over, the wall of uterus again start building up, and it may become ready to receive the next ovum, that is next mature egg. So this cycle repeated again and again till the ovum get fertilized by the sperm. So the first menstrual flow, which begins at puberty in a woman, is termed as menarche, and the stoppage of menstrual flow at the age between 45 to 50 years in female is called menopause. Now students, let us discuss about determination of sex of a baby. We know that chromosomes are present inside the nucleus of every cell. And chromosomes means what? It is a thread-like structure that carries information in the form of genes. Genes means DNA. So all human beings have 23 pairs of chromosomes in the nucleus of their cell. Out of this, 46 chromosomes, 23 pairs means 46 chromosomes. So 44 chromosomes are same in male and female both. Okay. So these chromosomes are called autosomal chromosomes. They are identical in males and females, 22 in male and 22 in female. And the remaining 2 chromosomes, okay, out of this 46 chromosomes are called sex chromosomes. So remaining 2 chromosomes we are saying sex chromosomes. So they are termed as X and Y. Okay. So in female, the cell contains 2 identical X chromosomes. So the sex chromosomes in females are represented by XX type. In males, the cell contains 2 different X and Y chromosomes. So the sex chromosomes in male are represented by X and Y type. The female produces only one type of unfertilized egg, having only X chromosomes, and male produce sperms of 2 kinds. One kind has an X chromosome and other kind has an Y chromosome. So the sperm Y chromosome is fertilizing egg having X chromosome. So new zygote is formed. That zygote contains X and Y type. So that results into boy. And if the sperm carrying X chromosomes fertilize the egg consisting X chromosomes, new zygote is formed consisting of XX type. So the result will be the girl. Okay. So here it depends on father's sperms, not on mother's egg cell, whether the baby would be boy or a girl. So the sex chromosomes of father determines the sex of a new unborn baby. So the belief that the mother is responsible for sex determination of her baby is completely wrong, and to blame her is totally unjustified. Now students, let us discuss about hormones other than sex hormones. We have just learned in this chapter that hormones are chemical messenger of the body, secreted by endocrine gland. We have also learned that pituitary gland attached to the brain secretes hormones which stimulates testes and ovaries to produce sex hormones. So apart from pituitary gland, there are other endocrine glands in the body such as thyroid gland, pancreas, and adrenal gland. Now students, let us discuss this in detail. So first is pituitary gland. So where it is located? At the base of brain. And which kind of hormone it is secreting? Growth hormone. And what is the function of it? It controls the overall development or growth of the body muscles, bones and tissues. And if growth hormone is less in our body, so what kind of disease a person can have? So a person can suffer a disease of dwarfism, or we can say dwarfness and gigantism. Dwarfness means a person will have very small height, and gigantism, a person may have very tall height. Second is thyroid gland. Where it is located? At neck. And which kind of hormones it is secreting? Thyroxine. And what is the function of it? It stimulates the rate of oxidation of food and metabolism of food in the cell. Means it releases the energy in the cell. And if this hormone is less in our body, so person can have a disease like goiter. Next is adrenal gland. Where it is located? On top of each kidney. So it produces, or we can say it secretes hormones like adrenaline and aldosterone. Now adrenaline controls emotions like fear and anger, and also regulates blood pressure and heartbeat. Aldosterone regulates mineral balance in the body like calcium, iron, magnesium, etc. Next is pancreas. Where it is located? Behind the stomach. And which kind of hormones it is secreting? Insulin. So if insulin is less in our body, so it lowers the blood sugar level in the blood. So if this hormone is less, so what kind of disease a person can have? A person can have a disease of diabetes. Now students, let us discuss about role of hormones in completing the life history of insects and frogs. We have already discussed in previous chapter the life cycle of frog. The transformation of lava means fish-like structure, into an adult through drastic change is called metamorphosis. So the metamorphosis in insect is controlled by insect hormones. Same way, the metamorphosis in frog is controlled by thyroxine. Now, iodine in water is required for the production of thyroxine in the frog's body. And if the water in which tadpoles are growing does not contain sufficient iodine, the tadpoles cannot produce sufficient amount of iodine in the body and cannot continue the process of metamorphosis, and hence cannot become adults. Now students, let us discuss about reproductive health. So first is nutritional need of the adolescent, second personal hygiene, third physical exercise, and fourth good habits. Now let us discuss this one by one. So first is nutritional needs of an adolescent. So here, since adolescent is a stage of rapid growth and development, so the diet of an adolescent should be carefully planned. So here, an adolescent requires a balanced diet for that age group. So the diet which contains the adequate amount of all essential nutrients like carbohydrate, fats, proteins, minerals and vitamins sufficient for the normal growth and development of the body are called balanced diet. So our Indian meal of roti, rice, dal and vegetable is balanced meal. So here an adolescent needs more protein. Protein is needed for growth and development, minerals for formation of strong bones, and various types of vitamins like vitamin A for development of healthy eyesight, vitamin C for general health, vitamin D for the formation of healthy bones. Next is personal hygiene. Now here personal hygiene is needed to prevent the occurrence of diseases. The adolescents need to be practice the important point of personal hygiene which can prevent diseases. So some of them are: first, everyone should have bath at least once every day. Second, wash our hands with soap water before and after taking meals. Third, change the clothes daily. Fourth, girls should take special care of cleanliness during the time of menstrual flow. Physical exercise. For keeping good health, we should do regular physical exercise. Physical exercise keeps the body and mind fit. All young and boys and girls should take long walk, running, cycling, yoga in open air to keep the body fit and healthy. They must play outdoor games to build up strong bones and muscles. And to keep them mentally fit, they used to do yoga. Now next is good habit. Adolescence is a period of rapid emotional and attitudinal changes. So this period has been denoted as a period of storms and stress. Adolescent can easily be tempted to be addicted to drugs, alcohol and tobacco because of the stress they undergo or because of the adventure spirit. So positive adolescent must say no to drugs, alcohol and tobacco because of this thing causes many physical and mental diseases. So first is smoking of tobacco in the form of cigarettes increase the risk of lung cancer and heart attack. Second, tobacco chewing leads to the oral cancer, that is mouth cancer. Next, consumption of alcohol causes damage in nervous system, stomach, liver and kidney. The harmful drugs like cocaine, heroin and opium causes again damage to nervous system and other organs of the body. And last, adolescent must maintain clean sex life to prevent diseases like syphilis and AIDS. Now students, let us discuss about AIDS. So AIDS stands for acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. And how does it spread? First, the AIDS disease spread through transfusion of blood infected with AIDS virus. Second, it also spreads through use of infected needles for injection. So, sharing of infected injection needles can also cause AIDS disease. Next, the children of AIDS infected mother may get this disease from mother's blood. And last, the AIDS disease usually spread through sexual contact with an infected person carrying AIDS virus. Thank you.